Now, a lot of you have probably heard this theory that the superhero genre will become oversaturated and people will lose interest in it. Now, granted, we have had a lot of superhero movies over the years, but now more than ever we have at least a minimum of 2 per year, most of it coming from Marvel with the creation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. People have loved superheroes for the longest time, and I don't think that's changed. Now, I remember when I was younger and there were a bunch of superhero movies coming out, I didn't really mind that there were so many. And maybe that's because they were all pretty good. It's like, wow, another good movie about a cool new superhero that I get to enjoy? This is great. Yes, please keep more coming. As more kept coming, there were a few bad ones in there. And then there were a few more bad ones in there. And then all of a sudden, you get the skepticism. Okay, should I watch this movie? Is it going to be good? How are they going to mess it up this time? I think I stopped paying so much attention to the Marvel Cinematic Universe after I saw the second Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. That movie did not do it for me at all. I don't think I liked a single part about that movie. I know that, like, there are plenty of people who did like that movie. No offense to any of you guys, but I mean, really? Iron Man created Ultron? The guy who literally spends his entire career working with artificial intelligence doesn't understand that artificial intelligence is dangerous? I couldn't wrap my mind around that. And I don't know, just the pacing of the movie, character introductions felt lazy. I couldn't take it. So I started watching less and less, and, you know, the Captain Marvel thing, fiddling with Captain Marvel's entire backstory, and hiring Brie Larson of all people to play her. It's a little bit controversial, but I basically stopped watching after Infinity War. So for me, mentally, that's like where it ended. Okay, Thanos snaps, half of the universe is dead. I'm content with that ending, that seems good. I think as time moves on, our expectations for movies continues to rise and rise and rise. We expect movies to be getting better over the years, not stagnating, not getting worse. So as the market flooded with more and more superhero content, we became a lot more skeptical of it. We were expecting a lot more from the movies. That's what I think anyway. And we should be expecting more because, you know, once you've done 1 million superhero movies, to think that you would be getting better at it, not stagnating, not getting worse. And I think the sheer demand of the superhero movies might have been a bit much for the writers that they were hiring. They were, you know, when you put someone on these really high expectations, sometimes they're gonna flub it up a little bit, and sometimes they're gonna rush through it if they have to meet this really close deadline. If Disney wants a superhero movie every single year, you really gotta pump them out. And I think that can affect the quality, not only on the writing part, but also maybe for the actors. You know, maybe you love being a superhero one day when you show up on set, but after you've been back and back again and again, maybe you've just had enough already. Maybe you're ready to play a different character. Marvel's not the only one pumping out these superhero movies either. DC has also been trying to, like, get in on that marketing, right? And DC tried to do the DC Cinematic Universe. I see what they were trying to do. Didn't work out at all. It just like explode that with dynamite, try again. That's the best advice I can give them. But granted, I haven't completely lost interest in DC yet. Some of their animated movies are still very good. Some of them aren't at all. What was that Batman and Harley Quinn movie? Oh my god. It's basically a flip of a coin whether or not a DC animated movie is going to be good. It used to be just all DC animated stuff was good, but... And I do really wonder why it is that there are some movies that are just really bad. Like, just really bad movies that are just sprinkled in to some movies that are okay or good. I mean, like I said, was it just that they rushed through the movie because they were trying to pump it out at a certain time? Was it that they just hired the wrong person to write it? I mean, what was Iron Man 3? That was a mistake! What do you think is the worst Marvel movie? Is it Iron Man 3? Is it Thor: The Dark World? Is it Age of Ultron? I don't know. Which one's the worst? Now granted, DC is with Warner Brothers, Marvel is with Disney, so you can kind of see which one has the upper hand when it comes to busting out money for promotion, for all creating a boatload of movies without really putting a dent in their wallet in the process. And not to mention, you know, Disney has a boatload of influence with critics and media. But honestly, I think the Marvel gravy train is coming to a slow stop. And I don't mean that with any offense to any of the Marvel characters. I love Marvel characters. But after a while, I just don't want to watch your movies anymore. I don't have good expectations anymore. I still have a little bit of hope for DC, just like a little bit, but you know. I think DC has an issue with using any other characters besides the Batman characters. And then of course in newer movies, and I guess newer comics as well, you have the problem of both these companies, I guess, have been guilty of this, tokenizing characters. But I guess that's a whole nother topic I can save for another video. And I think that maybe Marvel and DC should think about the possibility of creating new characters, or maybe even new universes that work differently than the current Marvel or DC universe. I don't think that the superhero genre is dying. I think it'll live on forever and ever. But maybe you should think outside of the box. Maybe you shouldn't be using the same characters and then just change them whenever you want, because you're just going to upset old traditional fans of those characters. The minute you start to think, I'm gonna change this character to be this way, maybe you should just make a new character. Maybe that's the right decision. You think outside of the box, don't always just restrict yourself. Superhero genre will live on, but I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be coming to an end. I don't really see it going any further than Endgame. And you can argue, oh well, Spider-Man, there's a new Spider-Man now, they're gonna do those movies, and I don't really like those movies either. Tell me what you think down below. Do you think the superhero genre is being oversaturated? Do you think that's a problem? Why do you think that's a problem? Do you think it's just because there's too much of the same characters? Do you think it's because the movies are getting worse? Tell me what you think below. Remember to like the video, of course, and subscribe, because it's good. Thank you for joining me in another discussion, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Program restart. Shutting down all systems.